Welcome to Nav Classes. Today we are going to talk about evolution of HRD, how HRD came into existence and how long its journey was and it came into existence. Although the term human resource development has only been in common use since 1980s, but the concept has been around a lot longer than that. Please subscribe and ring the bell if you didn't yet to get all notifications in your inbox as and when I upload my lectures. Let's start with today's tutorial. Early Apprenticeship Program. The origin of HRD can be traced to Apprenticeship Training Program in 18th century. During this time, there were small shops operated by skilled artisans produce virtually all household goods such as furniture, clothing, shoes. To meet growing demand for their products, the craft shop owners had to employ additional workers, and those additional workers come under them and work under them and learn from them how to do particular tasks related to craft manufacturing. And then later on, some of them may able to learn every skill in detail, and they can open their own venture, but some of them may not be able to open their own venture and they had to work under their own masters. And what is the origin of human resource development and how it exists today? Under apprenticeship program, without vocational or technical schools, shopkeepers had to educate and train their own workers. For little or no wages, these trainees or apprentices learned the craft of their masters, usually working in the shop for several years until they become proficient in their trade. They were working with their masters for very minimal wages. Apprentices who mastered all necessary skills were considered as yeomen. Point to be noted and very important term, yeoman, and could leave their masters and establish their own craft shops. However, most of them remained with their own masters only because they could not afford to buy tools and equipments needed to start their own craft shops, because to initiate their own workshops separately without their masters, it requires certain amount of investment, and they may not be able to take that investments as their own. To address a growing number of yeoman, master craftsmen formed a network of private franchises which exists today as well, so that they could regulate such things as product quality, wages, hours, and apprentices testing procedure. So these craft guilds grew up to become powerful political and social forces within their communities, and making it more difficult for yeomen to establish their own craft shops. Okay, so they had to work with their own masters. Most of them had to work with their own masters because they are not able to get initial investments and they are not able to invest something on their own behalf. Next is early vocational education program. In 1809, the man named DeWitt Clinton founded first recognized privately funded vocational school. And the very important term here comes is manual school. They also refer to as a manual school in New York City. The purpose of manual school was to provide occupational training to unskilled young people who were unemployed and had a criminal records. Means this training was for the social cause, to let people work and to learn skills because they were misdirected in their life, and now they given a chance to get good living. Manual schools grew popularity particularly in Midwestern states because they were a public solution to a social problem. What to do with misdirected youth? In this manner, they were able to keep misdirected people to a good direction to make them more skilled so that they can do their own work. Regardless of their intent, these early forms of occupational training establish a prototype for vocational education. In 1970s, Congress passed the Smith-Hughes Act, which was recognized the value of vocational education by granting funds. Initially, $7 million were provided as a fund for this cause, targeted for the state program as an educational program like in agriculture, trades, home economics, industries and teacher trainings. If we see today there are lots of vocational institutions and universities, and vocational instructions is an important part of each state's public education system. In fact, given the current concerns about the skill gap, especially for technical skills, vocational education has become even more critical at the present time. Early factory schools. When in 1800s there was a breakout of industrial revolution, machines began to replace hand tool of artisans. It means at that time the people who were making things with the help of their own hands and some tools like hammer, etc. So industrial revolution replaces and start overdoing with the help of machinery, and work of machinery rerouted all works. Factories make it possible to increase the production by using machines, and unskilled workers who are not skilled and they don't have knowledge how to make particular thing, but they also created a significant demand for engineers. Now on the skilled part, engineers demand increases. Mechanics and skilled mechanics needed to design and build and repair the machines. Fueled by the rapid increase of number of factories at that time, the demand for skilled workers soon outstripped the supply of vocational school graduates. To meet these demands, factories created mechanical and machinist training programs on their own, and these were referred to the factory schools. It means factory created their own schools to train their workers how to work on the particular machine. Okay, and then first documented factory school was created in 1872. It was located as the name Hoe and Company, HOE, Hoe and Company in New York. It was the manufacturer of printing presses. If we see, factory school programs are different than apprenticeship programs. Under factory school programs, they give all curriculum as a course and they provide a curriculum in shorter duration. It means now workers are able to learn everything in shorter duration. Under apprenticeship program, workers were able to learn in longer period, like they had to work with their masters and learn for years to learn particular skill, and it takes longer time to learn them. Factory schools had narrow focus on skills needed to do a particular job, because now jobs are to be done with the help of machineries, but under apprenticeship program it has broader focus on skills, as they had to know about each and every specific detail of doing a particular task. Now we come to early training programs for semi-skilled and unskilled workers. There were two significant historical events which changed the scenario. First was the introduction of Model T by Henry Ford in 1913. The Model T was first car to be mass produced using assembly line. It was a process to produce the cars in which production required the training of semi-skilled workers to perform several tasks. The new assembly line cut production cost significantly, and Ford lowered its prices to make Model T affordable to large segment of public. With increased demand of Model T, Ford had to design more assembly lines, and Ford started providing training opportunities to its workers. Most of other automobile manufacturers also entered into the market at the same time, also used assembly line process. So here it results to early training programs, proliferation of semi-skilled training programs. What was the second war? Another historical event was outbreak of World War I. To meet the huge demand of military equipments, many factories, those producing non-military goods, had to reroute their machinery and retrain their machinery to make products related to war. For example, US Shipping Board, who were manufacturing ships, was responsible for coordinating the training of shipbuilders to build warships now. Ships for war. To facilitate the training program, Charles Allen, Director of Training, instituted four-step instructional method referred to as show, tell, do, check. Under this, they were showing how the work is to be done on particular machinery and make tools, war-related products, and tell how these products are to be made by their workers, and let them do that work. Let workers and semi-skilled and skilled labor to do work and check whether they are doing work in correct manner or not. It was show, tell, do, check method for all training programs. It also referred to as OJT. Important term means on the job training. This technique was later named as JIT, job instruction training, and is still in use today for training many workers on basic elements of their job. Keep watching Nav Classes, subscribe and must ring the bell with it to get all notification in your inbox. Ask your friends to come and join Nav Classes community, because when we learn in group, then we are able to learn more and more as we consider the same topic and discuss the same topic with each other. Thank you.